welcome to another episode of Tom's Geeky Garage. So recently I finished playing the new Ghostbuster remastered game on PS4 for like the umpteenth time, and after I got done beating it, I decided to go back and look at the concept art, which I've done this before back in 2009 when I had it on PS3 and the Wii. But just for fun, I decided to go through and check it out. And as you can see here on the screen, there's a lot of interesting concepts that didn't make it into the game. And I came across this one, which is like a meme ghost, or like a mime ghost. Not meme, what am I saying? A mime ghost. And I really like the look of this thing. I thought it was really cool. I have a weird thing with like striped shirts. I don't know, maybe my fascination with Freddy Krueger or Beetlejuice, I don't know. But this mime ghost looks really cool. So I decided I want to make a sculpture of it. And every once in a while, I take a break from making toys and the stress of having to deal with all the articulating points and all the stuff. And sometimes I just want to sculpt for fun. So this is one of those time periods where I did that. So this is just like kind of a speed run of me building this figure out. And I probably won't do commentary to the whole thing because there's not really much I can say for the majority of this. But I will just give you a basic rundown of what I do and how I do it. As you can see here, the first thing that I do when I do a sculpture is I build really, really low geometry. And this is very low quality stuff. And this just gives me a foundation to start building the figure on. So you can see me here just using basic tools and using the image just for measuring out the length of arms and length of legs, things like that. So now what I'm doing is I'm going in here and I'm adding in some detail to things. So you basically take the low poly framework that we made, and then you subdivide that in polygon count. And then once you do that, you can actually start digitally sculpting in details. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm masking areas off with the mask, and then going in and sculpting around the mask to create a lot of the tears and rips in the material. And you can see to the right, I'm using the image for a reference, unlike what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And I've sped this up like 75%. So this, I think this process probably took around like 20 minutes to 30 minutes just to get the pants done. But here I'm just kind of speeding it up and pretty much just running through it pretty quick. I tend to, when I'm doing detail and things like this, I kind of just really kind of go over the whole thing with a pen and really just kind of rough it up. And then you can see now I'm using like a smoothing tool that I go through and kind of smooth out areas. And every once in a while I'll do a render of the material just to kind of get an idea of it. So now I think I'm done with the pants. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same process I did for the pants with the shirt. So I'm going to go through and basically make a low poly version of the shirt that has very small polygon count. And then we'll subdivide it and then start sculpting in details. Yeah, when you're first starting to work on these kind of things, they don't look anything of what the final product will look like. They're just really, really rough. And it's just about nudging things around and subdividing things where I need them subdivided. Alright, so I probably could have sped this up a little faster here. Now I'm just kind of using some other tools to kind of just get everything in place, make sure everything's in the right area before I start sculpting. Alright, so now here's me subdividing that so I can start sculpting it. So I think here when I was subdividing, I seen some areas that were kind of problem areas that I wanted to fix. So I basically went back to the base structure and edited it, and then came back and subdivided again for the sleeves and areas like that. Alright, so now I've got it where I want it apparently, and I am going to go through and start, adding in the chest and the ribs and basic shape as far as maybe like um, toning the shape of the shirt. I'm kind of not sure why I keep taking these breaks where it just stops. I think I must be getting up and dealing with the answering the door or something. I don't remember what I was doing. This took a whole night, so this is what I did the whole night. So I'm sure I kept getting up to like take breaks and stuff like that. I remember screwing this up a lot of times. Like, I just kept doing things like having areas like screw up, but now you can see me here. I'm masking off the areas at the sleeves so I can actually create kind of the sleeve area. Looks like I took another break. I take way too many breaks. I'm not sure if I did a collar. Seems like I would do a collar, but I guess I didn't do it here. Oh, here we go. Now we're doing a collar. Alright. So I'm recording all this commentary after the fact because I think this was, I think total I had probably 4 to 5 hours of video that I'm just kind of speeding through here. So I don't remember a lot of times actually what I did. Oh, here's adding some texture to the sweater. Really quick and really rough, but this is going to be a pretty small scale, so I don't think a lot of this texture is going to come through. Alright, so I'm at the point now where I'm just kind of rendering it and taking a look at what I want to improve. So I accidentally lost the footage for me making the arms. I had shot it and I guess I must have forgot to hit record, so I actually didn't record it. But I did catch me doing the head. Now, this is the second head I did. I did one and just didn't like the look of it. It just didn't turn out quite like I wanted. So I decided to scrap it and start over. So this is actually my second pass at doing it. And I didn't quite nail what I wanted to get, but after doing the first one, I was just tired of doing it. So I was like, I'm not going to do a third one. So I just stuck with this one. I honestly need to be like more proficient with the Cinema 4D sculpting tools. Like, I have sculpted a lot of things in there, but I literally just haven't really spent the time to study it. I just kind of work with it and like learn as I go. So there's probably so many tricks and things that I don't know to do. Now, I've used ZBrush a lot in the past when I was a lot younger, and for the most part, the sculpting tools are generally the same. And one thing with the sculpting is, the more time you put into it, the better it's going to come out. So I think I probably put maybe an hour into the head here. So yeah, this is just So yeah, this is the file after it was 3D printed. It came out pretty good. I did kind of a quick hand paint on it. And this is, like I said, these are just things I do for fun, just to kind of like relieve stress. This is like a stress reliever for me, just kind of making a figure. I really liked how he came out. So happy you got a chance to see it, and we'll see you next time.